Hey, truth seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's November 8th, 2016. It's almost 3 p.m. on the West Coast, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Many people voting on the East Coast right now. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are supposedly settling in to where they're going to be tonight, election night in New York. Tonight is the first night since 1944, FDR versus Dewey, that the two candidates have been within a mile of each other. And also in 1944, the candidates were in New York City like they are this year. Hillary and Trump, both in New York City. In this video, we're going to talk about what's so interesting about the buildings both of them are in. In case you're new here, in spring training, I predicted the Cubs would win the World Series as a tribute to Hillary Clinton's future presidency to follow. She's from Chicago, a Cubs fan. She has the New York connections as well. I showed how in spring training, Donald Trump in March said he was threatening to bring out the secrets of the Cubs family, the owners, the Ricketts. He said they had secrets. He could bring them out, embarrass them. And I was saying, I bet you anything he knows that the World Series is rigged for the Cubs, and that's what he's hinting at to the public. So anyway, the Cubs did win the World Series. They won it in Game 7, something I also predicted. Here's something you need to know about this prediction. September 16th was 47 days before Game 7 of the World Series, and the Cubs won with a walk-off home run. It was their 147th game of the season. Number 47 hit a walk-off home run 47 days before Game 7 of the World Series. Game 7 was scheduled for November 2nd, 11/2. This is the 112th World Series. The 112th World Series ended on 11/2. And who knocked in the winning deciding run was Miguel Montero, number 47, the same player. And I predicted he would have a big game. And I also said I predicted Javier Baez would have a good game in Game 7. I figured out all that I figured out by understanding how things are scripted. Being aware that things are scripted, you can make very educated guesses, assumptions at what the outcomes of things will be. From sports games to rigged news to celebrity deaths. I've even called the death of Prince and Muhammad Ali this year. Not that I'm proud of that, just that I understand what's going on in this sick numbers game in the world. In case you're new here, I am exposing how a gang of people operate that govern over us truly. They run our government, they run our entertainment, they run our media, and they do it by the numbers, the language I'm showing you. Numerology, Gematria. These are Jewish practices. They are part of Kabbalah. It is Jewish Zionists who are running banking, media, industry, entertainment. It's the people who are doing this to us. And that's why in this society we've been told we cannot speak against those who are Jewish. It's supposedly anti-Semitic. Goes against the lies of World War II, which we'll get more to. The last time this happened was during the time of World War II, 1944. The word military equals 44. Talk more about it. Cubs last time they were in the World Series was 1945, the end of World War II. Donald Trump said Hillary Clinton will create World War III. It's all a show, truth seeker. These elected officials, these presidents, they're nothing more than puppet stooges for the people who really run this nation, the Masonic Zionist banker tyrants, the industrialists, the Rockefellers of the world. Donald Trump will be in Rockefeller Plaza tonight. The Rockefellers leaked years ago. Hillary Clinton was to be the next president. So anyway, check this out. Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton are both in the Hell's Kitchen neighborhood tonight. Hell's Kitchen, lesser of two evils. Donald Trump's at the New York Hilton Midtown, which is where the 73rd meridian starts on the 40th parallel, which we'll get to. Hillary is where the 74th meridian ends, the 40th parallel. And why this is so interesting to me is because I've been saying all year Donald Trump is running as a stooge to make Hillary passable. No one in the country really cares for Hillary. If she becomes president tonight, all the people who really don't want Trump will feel a sense of relief that otherwise might not be there. Because again, there's such low support for Hillary. To make her passable, you have to give her something that people really don't like. Hillary Clinton in Gematria sums to 73. So does the word sacrifice. Donald Trump in the hotel on the 73rd meridian, just barely. The word united, 73. We saw the election of Theresa May earlier this year, the whole Brexit thing. United, United States, United Kingdom, red, white, and blue, Freemasons. As for Hillary being on the 74th, the word president equals 47. The reflection is 74. Hillary's born in 47. Masonic 74, Jewish 74. Very special number to the history of this nation. 7-4, July 4th. Holiday equals 74, Independence Day. English equals 74. Gematria equals 74. The practice of coding numbers into words. Alphabetic order 74, what Gematria is based on. As for the 40th meridian, Hillary equals 40. I'm going to link this post in the description. You want to watch this video. I've already shown it a couple times now. It's 2008. It's Donald Trump calling Hillary Clinton the best Secretary of State the nation's ever had. Calling Bill Clinton maybe the best president the nation's ever had. Talking about how much he respects Hillary, how she's a friend. 2008, not that long ago. Donald Trump talking up the Clintons. So again, first time since 1944 that two presidential contenders have had their parties within a mile of each other in the city of New York. That election was November 7th, 1944. Here we are, November 8th, 2016. 72 years later. The date that happened was a date with 81 numerology. Chicago sums to 81 in Jewish Gematria. Remember in 1948, it would be the same contest. FDR versus Dewey. Chicago would misprint that Dewey won. Or no, it wasn't Dewey versus FDR. It was Dewey versus Truman, the other Democratic, but the same contestant for the Republican Party. They printed that Dewey won, but instead Truman won, who became the 33rd president. Anyway, New York and Chicago's Zionist meccas. The date of that election, date was 62 numerology, the word vote 62, Mason 62, even the name Dewey 62. But he did not win on that day, it was FDR. Elections have always been rigged, they've always been scripted, they've always been played by actors selling out the people. Again, on the 40th meridian, Hillary 40, United States 40, email 40. Why we've been hearing about Hillary's 33,000 emails, Clinton 33, federal 33, Masonry 33, secrecy 33. This election in 1944 was the 40th, just like being on the 40th meridian was the 40th election in New York, a mile apart. This year's the 58th presidential election. Freemasonry 58, Secret Society 58. Trump Tower that's just blocks away is 58 stories tall. United States with the S exceptions also sums to 58. For each S, you can add 9 more on the calculator because S can be worth 1 or 10. On the calculator, it's worth 1. With the S exceptions, United States 50s, 58. So major parallels between this election 44 years ago and this year. Just a reminder that FDR, he died in Georgia, the 4th state with 44 Gematria, kill equals 44. He died on the 33rd parallel. His last date in the White House was a date with 33 numerology. He would be replaced by Truman, the 33rd president, after dying on the 33rd parallel, that special number. He also died in the year 45. This is a race to be the 45th president, but only the 44th person to be president. That's because Grover Cleveland counted as 22 and 24. So FDR, 32nd president, but 31st person to be president, you see? So he died in 45. Here we're a race to be the 45th person to be president. Major parallels. Notice 42nd Street, the dividing line. Freemason 42. Bill Clinton, the 42nd president. They're in the Hell's Kitchen neighborhood. Again, I've been talking about the World Series theming with this election. Hell's Kitchen has the same gematria as baseball. And in a moment, I'm going to show you about the Javits Center where Hillary Clinton's at. It has major parallels to the 112th World Series, which was just won by the Cubs, her team. Remember, the word Zionist equals 112. Chicago, New York, the Zionist meccas. Donald Trump said he's the biggest ally of Israel, meaning he's a Zionist puppet, just like Hillary, who says similar things. So Donald Trump, he's at the Midtown Hilton Hotel in Manhattan, the Hell's Kitchen neighborhood. Notice how the hotel has the same gematria as Manhattan. 9 plus 2 breaks down to 11. New York's the 11th state. 11 the master number, very special. In the article, they mention how it's across the street from the Museum of Modern Art, which has the same gematria as the Bavarian Illuminati, which has been coded next to Donald Trump all year. Numbers coded all over our currency and so much more. Read about the Bavarian Illuminati, established May 1st, 1776, just 2 months before we declared our independence. These people have been running a show ever since by the numbers. We might see Donald Trump in a museum pretty soon, too. Donald Trump. I don't know what's going to happen to him after the election. I mean, there's a chance he becomes the president. If he becomes the president, I know his term is not going to last 4 years. He is going to be assassinated in a staged assassination, which has been foretold. If he loses the election, he said he's going to stay around. You know, he's going to fight Hillary anyway. He could get shot, riling up his base. I'm going to show you how this hotel he's staying in has some concerning numbers on it. So here he is. He's at the New York Hilton Midtown, 1335 Avenue of the Americas, 10119. Reminds me of 119, like all-seeing eye, like Starry David, like 11/9, September 11th. The building number, you can add the numerology 13 plus 35, which sums to 48, like New York has gematria 48 with the K exception, like Times Square equals 48, like Donald Trump, like propaganda, like hoax, like Illuminati. The address also reminds me a bit of the gematria on Wrigley Field. Wrigley Field equals 135. You might remember the Indians pitchers came in. Games 3 and 4 and 1, both of their names equaled 135, like Wrigley Field, which is no coincidence. Your sports are scripted, just like your news, like your elections. It's all planned out. It's Masonic families, born and bred to be, from pitchers to presidents. By the way, 72 years, the word world equals 72. We're talking about World War, ending in 44, 45. Donald Trump saying World War. We're talking about World Series, World 72, 72 years later. They also bring up 1948. That's the last year the Indians won the World Series. 48, 68 years ago. Donald Trump's tallest building, 68 stories. Donald John Trump, his full name equals 68 in Pythagorean gematria. Remember, the Indians lost in the 97 World Series on Hillary's birthday in Game 7. This year they were eliminated in Game 7 by the Cubs, her team. The Cubs got their first win against the Indians on October 26th, Hillary's birthday. In 97, they were eliminated on that date. So now Hillary tonight, she's at the Javits Center. And I covered this the other day in another video, but let's do it again. Actually, hold on. We're not going to do the Javits Center. Do notice that Javits Center equals 47 like president, because we're going to come back to the building Trump's at with regards to 47. Look at how tall the building is that Trump's at. 47 floors tall. 101st tallest hotel. Says it's at 6th and 53rd in mention of John F. Kennedy. Cover all this. The word assassin equals 101. The first presidential assassination came on April 14th, 1865. That's the day Lincoln was shot, a date with 101 numerology. The word assassin in Jewish gematria equals 411. John F. Kennedy was shot from 411 Elm Street. Think about how this is the end of the 114th Congress. 411, 114. 47 floors tall, 4 plus 7 brings us back to 11. Look at how the word president equals 47. So does agent. All of our presidents are agents. Obey 47, authority 47. The Freemasons have something called Euclid's 47th problem, foundation 47, framework 47. Presidential race in the 47 floor tall building. Remember, there's only 2 states that have a simple English gematria 47. They are Ohio and Nevada. The first Republican debate to break it down in contestants was in Ohio. The first Democratic debate in Nevada. The 247 states. Donald Trump's had 2 assassination attempts on him supposedly in the last year. Assassination scares, both in Nevada where Hillary and the Democrats first ran. This is also in the Rockefeller Center. Rockefeller Center. Rockefeller has gematria of 110. Just like the word president, the World Trade Centers opened in 73, just like this hotel. Again, Rockefeller 110, the World Trade Centers were 110 stories tall, buildings 1 and 2, building 7 fell 8 hours later in the day. Also on 9/11, it was 47 floors tall, each floor 47,000 square feet. The word president equals 110, so does the name Osama bin Laden, blamed for the attack. With regards to John F. Kennedy, 53rd, 6th, 53 plus 6 is 59. That's the kill number in Jewish gematria. John F. Kennedy equals 59. JFK was also the 44th term president. Kill equals 44 in simple English gematria. He died on the first day of Sagittarius. Sagittarius equals 144. So does the word 44, when you write it out, it sums to 144. Lincoln shot on 14/4, April 14th. Come back up here real quick. This article about the first time in 72 years this has happened, the 2 presidents celebrating so close. They tuck in this sentence here about how in 44, and we know FDR voted in Hyde Park, New York, because the White House stenographer wrote about it in this incredible journal entry. There's no reason for them to include that sentence. It doesn't add to anything in the story. But realize, these people, when they write these articles, they are truly coding out, they're communicating between their Freemasonic network, which runs our media. They're dropping clues. They're giving tributes. It's rituals. Look at this. Hyde Park, New York, in gematria sums to 82 and 199. We're talking about New York and Chicago, Hillary from Chicago, New York connections. Bill Clinton's biological father, by the way, not named Clinton. He died driving back from Chicago, his biological father, coming back to Hope, Arkansas. His mother remarried into the Clinton family. Anyway, Chicago, Illinois equals 82, like Hyde Park, New York. And Chicago equals 46. 199, 46, 199, the 46th prime. Little fast fact, Tom Brady, the 199th overall pick out of Michigan. Michigan equals 46. So does Patriots. This name, William B. Tabler, in gematria sums to 58, like Freemasonry. This is the 58th presidential election every 4 years. This is where Donald Trump is tonight. Trump Tower not too far away, 58 stories. Trump definitely part of this Masonic network. They mention here that John Lennon's song Imagine was written here. That 1971, that's 45 years ago. Here's the race for the 45th president. This is the hotel that Trump's in tonight. Supposedly the first cellular phone there, April 3rd, 93rd day of the year in 73. This 47 tall story building also has 47 suites, maybe one on each floor, I don't know. The date it opened, June 26, 1963. That's the year JFK was assassinated. Dealey Plaza equals 108, like the 108-year streak broken in the World Series, just a thought. But anyway, check this out. That date that this opened was a date with 114 numerology. This election's coming at the end of the 114th Congress. President of the United States equals 114. JFK shot from 411 Elm Street. Assassin in Jewish gematria equals 411. The coordinates, again, connecting to Hillary. Isn't it amazing how they do this? If you're not convinced yet, stay with me through Hillary and the Javits Center. Notice this emphasis on glass ceiling. We're going to get to that. Remember how Hell's Kitchen equals 54 like baseball? Hillary about to break through a glass ceiling, first female president. Anyway, president equals 47 like Javits Center. Hillary born in 47. Glass ceiling equals 54 like baseball, like Hell's Kitchen. Javits Center has Gematria of 146. The Cubs clinched the playoffs this year in their 146th game, the first team to clinch. 16 games left in the season at that point. Major League Baseball equals 162 games in the season. Notice 146 is a lot like 46 for Chicago, also for Chicago Cubs. The full name of the convention center where Hillary is tonight sums to 112, like the World Series. And again, the 112th World Series ended 8-7. Clinton equals 87. You know, Bill was 42, Hillary to be 45, 42 plus 45, 87. They beat Cleveland. The GOP convention was in Cleveland this year. Think about it. His full name, Jacob K. Javits Convention Center, the full name of the convention center in simple English Gematria also sums to 319. When you write out 319, it sums to 216 and 108. Now again, a baseball has 108 double stitches. That means 216 total stitches. Cleveland's the 216 area code, where the Cubs just broke the 108-year drought. Major League 108. The movie Major League from 1989 foreshadows the Cubs-Indian World Series, which I showed at the beginning of the playoffs when I said that would be our matchup. Notice Jacob K. Javits was a senator until 81, Chicago 81 in Jewish Gematria. We talked about how that connected to the date in 44, the last time two presidential contestants were partnering so close to each other in New York. He was born in New York. He died in Florida. He died on March 7th, a date that can be written 7/3, Hillary Clinton 73. His full name, Jacob Kopel Javits, Gematria of 187. Remember, 187 has been coded all over Donald Trump's campaign. George Washington also equals 187, the first recognized president, a Freemason. Is it that Donald Trump has this number coded on him because he's running to help Hillary become the first female president? Donald Trump's convention began July 18th in Cleveland, 18/7, 187 days before Inauguration Day. In case I'm wrong about Trump, that's something to keep in mind, that alignment. To me, though, I think it's all a tribute to Hillary. His name, Jacob Javits, also sums to 112, just like the name of the convention center the small way. 112th World Series, tribute to Hillary Clinton. Mathematics equals 112. 1 plus 1 equals 2. Zionist equals 112. Again, New York, Chicago, the Zionist meccas. This man also died at age 81. He was a senator until 81. He was senator from 57 to 81. World Series equals 57. Theo Epstein won 57 days before his 43rd birthday. He went to Yale. Yale equals 43. So does New Haven CT, where Yale is. George W. Bush, the 43rd president. Jeb, the 43rd governor of Florida. Their father, the 43rd vice president. See, New York and Chicago. I've been explaining this for 3 years. These cities always coding out, giving tributes to each other. This is where the network is. This is their stronghold. Look at who the mayor is of Chicago. Rahm Israel Emanuel. Israel, the Zionist nation. His brother, a former member of Irgun, the Zionist militant group. The day this man was born, Javits, date with 46 numerology, Chicago 46. Again, New York man with Chicago connections. Died on a date with 96 numerology, the number for Freemason, 42 the small way. Bill was the 42nd president. Date right for killing, murder and killing Gematria. JFK, by the way, died on a date with 115 and 96 numerology in the middle of Dealey Plaza, named after a 33rd degree Master Mason. The Zapruder film made by a 33rd degree Master Mason. Dealey Plaza, again, 108. The word geometry, 108. 108-year drought for the Cubs. Numbers on a baseball. From the death to the birthday was also a span of 73 days. You know, March 7th, Hillary Clinton, 73. He died in West Palm Beach, Florida, Gematria of 193, the 44th prime number, the kill number. This is a race to be the 44th person to be president. When you write out 44, it sums to 144. When you write out Hillary Rodham, it sums to 144. She'd be the 44th person, the 45th president. Illinois, 45. Illinois 45 the small way, 99 the big way. This year, George H.W. Bush endorsed Hillary 99 days after his birthday. I got a video on that. Look at these headlines from CNN. First results just hours away. They code a 99 on it. Like the United States of America. Like 13, the number of stripes on the flag, the colonies. It's all a joke, truth seeker. So anyway, I think we covered it all. I was trying to remember if there's any other loose pieces. There's always more, but if you've missed my prior videos on the rigged election, just search my channel, Zachary K. Hubbard, Donald Trump, Zachary K. Hubbard, Hillary Clinton. So many videos from the last few years that I've been doing this work. Blog posts, videos. I changed my mind. This is Donald Trump in 2008. This should remind you how cozy the relationship is between these two who are partying oh so close together. The last time this happened, the Democratic Party won. Listen to Donald, 2008 on the Clintons.
Well, I think her history is far from being over. I'd like to answer that question in another 15 years from now. I think she's going to go down at a minimum as a great senator. I think she is a great wife to a president. And I think Bill Clinton was a great president. You know, you look at the country then. The economy was doing great. Look at what happened during the Clinton years. I mean, we had no war. The economy was doing great. Everybody was happy. A lot of people hated him because they were jealous as hell. You know, people get jealous and they hate you. People don't like him because they're jealous of him. But Bill Clinton was a great president. I mean, I hope we can be so lucky in terms of the economy and in terms of other aspects. I mean, we weren't in wars with two nations. I'm not blaming Afghanistan, by the way, is probably a place that we should be. Iraq, we shouldn't be, and we should have never been. You know, Iraq is interesting because in Iraq, Saddam Hussein used to kill terrorists. He used to kill terrorists. Now Iraq is the...
You know, I just want to pause here. Donald Trump, what he just said, we probably should have been in Afghanistan. I mean, that's just some straight up bullshit. Even in the official story of what happened on 9/11, which is all bullshit, they told us that the majority of the hijackers are from Saudi Arabia, which is an ally that we give billions of dollars to a year. They then gave us the story about the men arrested in New Jersey who were filming the attack from Israel, who were sent back to Israel. They said they were here to document the attack. So the attackers are from Saudi Arabia, and people from Israel are here to document, as told to us in our own mainstream media. Those are our allies that we send billions of dollars to a year. The nations that are our allies had the foreknowledge, the people involved. We went to war with nations not connected. The bin Laden family is from Saudi Arabia. Why would you go to war with Afghanistan? You really think Osama bin Laden was living in caves with bookshelves, as we've been shown on the news? They've literally shown us pictures of Osama. They're so photoshopped. Osama in the cave with the bookshelf. Anyway, you guys, Israel, whoever cut up this video, 2 minutes and 5 seconds, it could be a coincidence, but Israel equals 205 in Jewish Gematria. These are Israel's Zionist puppets, Donald and Hillary. They are the people who put on this propaganda by the numbers. You never seen my work on 9/11 in Israel. There's so much more to the story. Let's just listen to Donald give more praise to Bill and Hillary. Remember the 93 World Trade Center bombing when the Clintons came? Then came the Bushes, who went to Yale just like Bill and Hillary. Everybody's been going to Yale. But remember, 93 World Trade Center bombing, then Bush's first year in office, September 11th. Osama, I almost just called Obama Osama bin Laden. That's no coincidence how they did that to us. Osama, Saddam, Barack Hussein Obama. Anyway, there's been nonstop false flags with Obama. There were a lot with Clinton, too. There were a lot with Bush. There always are in this country. Let's just continue listen up to Trump here. Here we go.
The breeding ground for terrorists. That's where everyone goes. You know, like some people go to Harvard, some people go to the Wharton School of Finance. If you're a terrorist, you go to Iraq. So, you know.
Bzzz. Actually, where you go is you go to Israel. You go to Israel. Hell's Kitchen tonight. That's where you go.
We just made some bad decisions. Bill Clinton was a great president. Hillary Clinton is a great woman and a good woman.
You said of Hillary Clinton that she was, quote, pretty badly abused during her presidential campaign. Why did you say that?
I thought that they roughed her up pretty good. I think she's a wonderful woman. I think that she's a little bit misunderstood. You know, Hillary's a very smart woman, very tough woman. That's fine. But she's also a very nice person. And I know Hillary, and I know her husband very well. They're fine people. I thought, and, you know, part of that is a rough political battle. I thought she was roughed up. I thought she, and I'm not knocking the other side. You know, you want to win a battle, so if it gets a little bit nasty, it is politics, and politics is a tough game. But I thought she was perhaps unnecessarily roughed up. She took some pretty hard hits, to my opinion.
All right, Truth Seeker, that wraps it up. I'm going to link those posts down in the description if you want to check them out, share them. Thanks for tuning in as always. We'll see what happens as the night unfolds. Till next time, Truth Seeker.